Yo everybody, we are back here again today for another exciting video, and as you can see, we are up to something here today. So we have done a franchise mode on this channel before. It was an expansion draft. It was a lot of fun. We ended up winning the cup with the expansion team, although it did take us a little bit longer than I would have liked. Here today, we are raising the stakes by quite a lot. So today, we're going to see what the NHL would be like if things were flipped around quite a bit. So we're doing a fantasy draft here, as you can see, and you'll see why this one's going to be super interesting. But to start, let's figure out where exactly we're going to be picking. So here's what I'm proposing, and well, by proposing, I mean here's what I'm going to do, and I apologize if you guys disagree, but since I'm not doing this live, I unfortunately can't get your feedback right away. But what I'm going to do is we're going to do 3 randomizations, and essentially we can do the first randomization. If we like it, we can pick that one. We do the second randomization. If we like it, obviously we can pick that one, and we do the third randomization, and obviously that's the one we are kind of stuck with. But if we like the second randomization better than the third, we can go back and use the second randomization. So just that I have a little bit more leniency for myself, because I would prefer not to get like be stuck in like 31st, but also making it enough of, you know, random enough and enough of a challenge to make it interesting. So we're going to do the first randomization here. We're currently sitting at 18th. Randomization number 1 puts us up to 2nd. I'm stopping. I'm not doing another randomization. That is pretty much best case scenario. We're sticking with that. But here is what I think is going to make this series the most interesting, or what's going to make this series super interesting. So we're picking 2nd, but we're not going to get to make a single one of our own picks. We're simulating the whole draft, and whatever team we get is the team that we get. Simple as that. I don't get to make any choices. I don't get to make any decisions. Whoever gets picked is who gets picked. And it is as simple as that. I'm not going to have... I'm not going to get any decisions on what this team looks like. And yeah, looks like we ended up picking McKinnon. So we have McKinnon, Stone, Letang, Drouin, Taves, Giordano, Crawford, Butcher, Orlov. A lot of old heads. Interesting. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what this team is looking like here. We didn't pick a goalie for a long time, which is minorly worrying. I think Khudobin may be our best tendy, and if that's the case, we are in a hurting scene. Wow. Okay. I mean, first line is stellar with Drouin, McKinnon, and Stone. This, it falls off fairly quickly. I mean, having Taves and Getzlov is great, but having the Mango Man as our second line left wing hurts a bit. We've got a very, very stacked D-core with a +3 coming in there. And what is the goalie situation? Okay, so we do get Corey Crawford. I must have completely missed that. And Khudobin, which actually we have a very good tandem. A tandem in which we don't really need. We may actually potentially might want to think about making a trade there. But if I'm being completely honest, that's looking great in comparison to what I thought. I don't know if we have any contracts need to be done right now. If we have any that are expiring. Look at all the contracts expiring next year. Oof. And also, we have Getzlov right now. I don't really know if I want to be paying an 8.25 million. that's what the game picked for us. So I guess that's what we're vibing with. We're not making any changes. I like what the game did for me. And we're just gonna see how good this team truly is. I don't really know what to expect here. Obviously, just because I don't know what any of these teams are going to look like going into this. We're certainly going to find out. I'm so excited. I pretty much got on to record, couldn't figure out what to record, and came up with this idea off the top of my head. So I really hope that it's interesting, and or if it's not already interesting, that it'll become something interesting. Wow, we were taking a lot of L's. Again, probably majorly due to the offensive core, I would imagine. Our offense probably isn't necessarily the best at getting things done. Which is fine. I mean, if we're going to tank a bit, then that's perfectly fine for me in the first year. But if I'm being honest, I'm one of those guys that likes to make the cup every year, no matter what. Even if I have to make some changes. So, come the deadline, we may shake things up a bit. We'll just kind of keep an eye on, kind of how competitive, let's say, our kind of region is, or our division, I guess, is the proper term. No, I don't want to give up any of this year's picks in case we do tank. Just looking highly likely that we may, unless we start to turn things around here. I mean, we're getting points every game, but still seeing quite a few losses and a lot of overtime and shootout losses, unfortunately for us. Again, it's seeming like we're having a bit of trouble out on the scoring front for sure. A lot of very little, or a lot of close games where I would much rather be scoring a bit more. We'll see. We still have a lot of time left in this season. We do have a bit of catching up to do on the Red Wings and the Bruins. I definitely don't want Jeff Carter. I'm hoping that we can maybe hit a stride here. If we're even close to playoff contention, we're going to make a run for it somehow. 11-7 is the goals there. I know, I just found a lot of the wins we're getting are, well, not a lot, but kind of a majority of the ones that I've been seeing are kind of closer game wins, and a lot of our losses, we're not even really getting a point sometimes, which is a bit worrisome. Honestly, this may be a trade that I consider just because we need some help on the forward line, actually. Yeah, we need some help up front. We'll certainly take that. Let me just pause and make sure that Turris is actually playing somewhere that I want him to play. McKinnon is over a point per game, but yeah, so we've got Turris kind of chilling down here, which is okay. I don't know why Hall is down so far, though. I'd like to put Hall up a peg. Is there... actually... yeah, let's leave that as is for now. At least we know Turris is playing where we want him to. We were able to make a couple changes there. I think we still got a bit of a ways to go before we can really say we're in playoff contention, and we don't really have that many games left here in this season, just unfortunately for us, just the way that the cookie is currently crumbling here. I just don't want to be a middle-of-the-road team. I want to make sure that if we're going to make a run, that we're going to have the space to do it. I believe we'd have to catch up to the Red Wings, or the Sabres, which neither of those things seem like super easy tasks. Although we have caught up past the Sabres now, we did just beat them, which is actually huge. And now it looks like we're going into the deadlines. I'm a conservative seller right now just because I don't really know what assets we have. I barely even looked. I'm just kind of on the hunt to see what exactly I can see here. Not really interested in anybody that's there. Definitely don't want Grice. Nobody here really that I'm all that interested in. We need some forwards for sure. It's just to actually find some forwards that are going to be worth our while. Like I need an NHL ready forward that is not going to break the bank. So essentially I'm asking for a pipe dream at this point. Not a lot of teams with anything on the block right now. What is up with that? I mean, I'd take Landeskog all day. What kind of a trade would I need to get Landeskog? Orlov, a first, and a third for somebody like Landeskog. Orlov... So an 84 overall defenseman, a first and a third for Gabriel Landeskog, who is currently at 46 points in 62 games. He'd be a perfect second line player for us here. Oh my god, I almost just spit all over myself. That was definitely attractive to watch. Okay. Not really feeling that trade all that much. Is that the only possible trade? Yeah, that's the only possible trade they would take for somebody like Landeskog, which you can't really blame them. Obviously, Landeskog is a great player. Taves, Merrill, and Shore for an upcoming New York first-round pick. What's New York's record right now? 27, 26, and 8. So they're kind of fighting to be around the same kind of space that I am. I don't know. I don't want to. That might have been a dumb plan. I don't know. 5.75 million. Again, Yarncroc is an interesting option. What do the people want for Yarncroc? I mean, now that seems like a doable one. $2 million over 2 years. He's currently, I believe, an 82, if I saw correctly. 82, almost 30 points in 62 games. Mueller at 8 points in 62 games, 30 penalty minutes. A second rounder. I'm wondering if I could change that second rounder into anything. Like Winnipeg's third rounder next year. No, it's going to have to be a second rounder. Do I have a year at all where I have 2 second rounds from somebody? No. I really don't want to give up a second round pick for Yarncroc, to be honest. Oh, we're getting another trade option. Holy. So Taze, with us retaining some salary, and Merrill, third round pick and Shore. These are some crazy trades. What the heck? So we get their first round pick, but they're doing good this year. I don't really want their first round pick. Yeah, none of this is really... Yeah, none of that really was anything I wanted to see. Okay, so we know to keep an eye on Yarncroc there on Ottawa. I don't want to make, you know... I don't want to go crazy and get him right away. Although now, with my luck, he'll be gone by the time we get back there. Which would really upset me, to be honest. Hornqvist is an interesting one. Adam Lowry is also an interesting one. Cop. Vegas. Washington. Winnipeg. Duclair is a top 6 forward sniper there. What would they like to get for Duclair? Second and a third in the upcoming year for Duclair. Man, everybody wants Taze. No. I should probably try to get rid of Taze, though, to be fair. Okay, let's go back to this trade that we were looking at before we got rudely interrupted. Let's see. So Duclair is an 82 overall, playing on the third line, 43 points in 62 games, which is actually quite good. I just kind of want to see here. I would really, really prefer if I could do this instead. Oh, no, he got traded already. I've never seen that error code before. That confused the heck out of me. Okay. So let's just pray that What's-His-Face is still on Ottawa. He is. Yarncroc is still sitting here on Ottawa. Getzlaf for Carolina's first round pick? Oh, Carolina's doing great. I don't know, man. Okay. Let's bite the bullet on Yarncroc here. A second and Mueller. We'll do that. We'll do that. Just make sure we're not missing anything else super exciting here. Kadri's obviously an interesting one. Yeah, so that they don't want anything for Kadri. What about Armia? Again, I'm pretty much just trying to very, very slowly... Ooh, we're hitting over our cap here. Yeah, we may want to look into actually doing what the game is saying and trading Taze away. I was actually going to try to get... What's-His-Face? I was actually going to try to maybe trade for Kadri there, but he is now gone. Yeah, definitely in these... Probably next year, we may want to look into trading Taze. You probably should have taken one of those trades that we already had for him. So Minnesota actually ends up getting Landeskog there. And, well, you know what? Haven't done this in a while, so let's actually do a quick simulation of a game here in the regular season. The trade deadline game. 2-0 for us off the rip. 2-0. Finishing. Ooh, actually not finishing. Wow, and we lose there in overtime. Quite an unfortunate event there, but again, at least we're getting points still. I guess now pretty much all we can do is sim to the end of this season and just pray that we can somehow manage to come up with enough points to clinch ourselves a spot here. Currently sitting at 67 points, tied yet again with the Sabres, who we have been fighting with constantly here. Be nice to get a huge win against the Red Wings, which we do. Unfortunate loss to the Capitals there. We really cannot afford a losing streak right now. We really have to keep up a win streak. And as I say that, we actually take 2 very unfortunate losses there. We pretty much, I believe we have to catch up to the Canadiens in order to hope to clinch a spot. We go down lower than the Sabres. We get a win against the Canadiens. Can we clinch? I don't believe we do there. 91 points in 82 games for McKinnon. And this team, unfortunately, does not make the playoffs after their first year. We stayed very close to 500 all year. And pretty much as I expected, after McKinnon, not much point getting there at all. I would actually like to take a look at our goalies, though, because, again, next year, one of our goalies has got to go, potentially. And I'm just trying to figure out who. It's looking like it... It's looking like it's going to be Crawford, as he did not have a great save percentage, did not have a great record, and definitely did not have good goals against. Again, he definitely played a bit more than Khudobin, but Khudobin definitely held his end a little bit more, at least holding a positive record there. So, Crawford may be the next to go here as we sim up to the NHL draft here. Again, very, very interesting season, to say the least. I'm certainly glad that... I wouldn't say glad, but it's interesting to see how the team was able to perform again. Probably should have been expected that McKinnon was kind of going to put the team on his back. Minnesota actually wins the cup there after picking up Landeskog, so they definitely made a cup run, which is absolutely fantastic for them. We actually get quite a big raise here. We should have taken the Islanders' pick for Taves. We would have been in 3rd. Nashville went from 13th to 2nd. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. Ugh. Makes you want to be sick. That is ridiculous, man. Don't really care much about the retired players. Coaches that are retiring. Nobody for us. Do we want to bother doing the draft interviews? Yeah, we do. Let's do these. Get draft interviews going. We got Sillinger, Virtanen, and here. I don't know who I would even consider going for. Haturati. There's a couple interesting ones. Svitov. You know what? I don't want to do interviews this year. Screw it. We're being that angry GM. We didn't make the playoffs. We're not doing anything right. Nashville doesn't want their 2nd round or their 2nd overall pick. Well, Nashville, buddy. I'll take it. I think I can give them Taves now. Oh, wow. That's a hurting scene. I would give them Taves... and a 1st in a future year. I'm actually shocked they didn't take that. But if we could actually get rid of Taves this season, like before the season begins, I think that could be huge for us. Ball here as well. Throw him in. They really, really... What if I don't mind retaining a bit of his salary. What if I retain, like, $1 million of his fantastic salary? That's rude. Friggin' rude, dude. So obviously we don't have anybody that's unsigned quite yet. They actually want Greer, though. Okay, we're going to have to sweeten the pot a bit more. Although I don't want to sweeten her too much. Maybe give them Winnipeg's 3rd next year. They still don't want that. That's actually ridiculous to me. That they still aren't going to take that deal. I'll throw Ball back in the mix too. Oh my god. New Jersey 7th. Come on now. If you want to get rid of your pick, you actually got to be willing to get rid of your pick. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't really want to give them a first and a second. I have to retain even more of Taze's salary. And then I give them the second still. That's crazy, man. I don't even know what to think now. I guess this is just not happening. Nashville does not want it. Is there anybody else before us? Essentially, I'm just doing this because I don't want Taze anymore. Is that bad? Probably. I don't want to give up my first, though. Not this year. Beautiful. Might have jumped the gun on that a little bit too quickly. But in the end, essentially what I wanted to do was not have Taze on the team anymore. Just preferably can do without that cap hit. So I guess we'll sim to our pick here. Still got some medium elites on the board. I'm hoping there may still be some for me. Svitov here, a left wing medium elite player. Let's take Svitov here, who is a 78 overall medium elite, so that's very, very good. And let's see what we can get with our 10th pick here. I'm going by max potential here. We've got Clark, Andersons. Scouts are saying he's going to go about 14th. Andersons is an interesting one. Let's go with Riley Andersons. I like to pick the EA-made players. 63 overall medium elite, I'll certainly take that. Now we can sim to our next pick here in the draft. We're picking 71st overall. This guy's completely unknown. Aiden Donald. So we'll remember Aiden Donald here. But we still have some medium elites here in Lockhart and Suni, but are they really going to be medium elites? Let's try. Yeah, top 6 forward, so definitely could have been a better pick there. I just kind of wanted to take the chance and see. All right. Our scouts are saying take Gustafson, so that's what we'll do. Medium top 9. Not great, not awful. Not seeing anything too great here. Again, they're saying he could be a medium elite, but it's not a guarantee. We can try it, though. We will take Connor Lockhart. Medium top 6. That's actually decent. Ooh. Okay. I think I'm going to decline that. It was a 2-for-1 deal in my favor, but I think I'd rather keep the picks that I've got currently. But I mean, we've already had a stellar draft so far. Okay, I guess we're not going on the potential train. Who is meant to go next? Ooh, whoa. Brylan, low elite. Diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough. That is 3 elites in one draft. And we get back-to-back picks here. Let's friggin' go. Who's going around here soon? Nobody really super important and cool. Guaranteed backup in Yakabo. Not super interested. Gord Persinger here. Let's try and get another diamond in the rough. And we do. Unreal here. As you can see, we're picking them out everywhere. Is there a guaranteed top 4 defenseman? A guaranteed bottom 6 in Kovalev. I'll actually take that. Now, let's see what else we've got here. Lundberg is who our scout is suggesting we grab. Okay. Let's go back in. If our scout thinks we should grab Lundberg, we will listen to our scout. Never listening to my scout ever again. And just like that, we see the end of the draft. That was a successful draft. 2 first-round picks, 2 medium elites joining the squad. We get rid of Taze, which is absolutely huge. And now, ladies and gents, we've got some re-signing to do. Just going to offer all these guys their contracts again. I'm literally not even looking to see if they're good or not. I don't really care all that much, to be honest. I don't really know how much the coaches really affect anything. I don't even know how to tell when your scouts are getting close to needing a new contract. But now we have 22 million in cap. Quite a few players here that are expiring. 4 million for 1 year for somebody like Getzlov. That's definitely something I'll look into. I'd much rather pay Getzlov 4 million for 1 year than pay Holla the price that he's looking for. Merrill for 2 mil. I'll take that. Stone for 2 mil. Probably not going to take that. Sure. What are these contracts, man? Perlini. Sure. Actually, while I'm here, let's go and see some unsigned players, because we've got some players that I want to sign right away. We're definitely signing Svitov and Andersons, whether they play in the major or the minors. I'm going to leave everybody else unsigned, though, for now, just to kind of see how they grow on the on their own. I think just going to qualify the majority of these RFAs here, because I don't really want to go through the pain of having to re-sign them all. I really don't, man. Some of these contracts are just becoming quite ridiculous, if I'm being honest. So every single RFA we've got, other than the one we've already that I already accidentally gave a contract to, 2 million for a 79 overall. That just doesn't seem worth. Okay. Let's see if he'll take that, and then let's just advance today and kind of see what we've got remaining. Okay. So we've got 17 million in cap remaining, and we've got a couple guys that we still should probably attempt to sign. A little bit over $1 million for a 78 overall. I mean, I could get a 78. I have a 78 overall ready to be played in your place. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't even be considering that. I need to see what the free agent pool looks like before I do anything. We have 17 million in cap. Ovi's going to be on. Ovi might potentially be... Ovi ended up on the Penguins. That's hilarious. Ovi may potentially be somebody that we might want to look into. Quite a few guys here. Some wingers, potentially. Let's just look at forwards real quick. Yeah, a lot of very, very nice looking forwards. I don't know exactly how much they're going to want. But I mean, we've got 17 million in cap here. I just want to take a quick look-see and see what the team is going to look like as of right now. So we'll have a very, very good amount of center depth. We also have quite a few medium elites here. Anderson's being one of them. Obviously, just signed this year. I'm excited to see how he plays. We've also got a couple of unsigned guys. Yeah, we are pretty decent on the prospect pool here. Even if Holla is gone, honestly, we don't even really need to get anybody to replace him, assuming that our wingers are good. Our wingers need some work. Svitov is probably going to be played, honestly. I'm just really interested to see how he plays. He didn't get a lot of points, and I don't know if he ever has. Yeah, he's only played one season in Russia, and he got 25 points in 54 games. But I'm very excited to see how he performs, so he'll probably be our fourth liner. And again, we don't really have to worry about anything going weird there. We need some right wingers bad. And then in terms of defensemen, we have... Okay. How much does Merrill want? It's a decent amount for somebody of his age, really. His age and overall. And how much did Stone want again? 2.07 for Stone, or 2. Is he interested in an extension? If I could get him for $2 million. Oh yeah, I forgot that I signed all these coaches as well. Okay. What about 2.15? I don't want to give him much more than that. I don't even really want to give him 2.2. I have faith that we can find 2 good defensemen with the cap that we have. I just got to make sure that we're not losing any goalies. Okay. Do I have any unsigned goalies? No. Okay. I mean, we have a lot of trade fodder. These low elites may really help us out. To get a trade done if we need to, but I'm honestly thinking with the cap we have, we probably don't need it. Let's just slow down. Let's just slow our roll down for a second. Who do we have that... We've got 16 million in cap now. Still got 3 RFAs potentially. But we have... I don't need to know RFAs. I just want to see everybody. We have a lot to trade with. We really do. Which is really, really exciting for us, honestly. Because the team does need to see some changes. So I'm excited to see what we can make out of this. But the first thing we need is... I need UFA defensemen. Okay. The fact that Bufflin... There's a few teams interested in Bufflin. He wants 7.65 for 2 years. We don't really need someone as crazy as Bufflin, though. Is there somebody that is potentially... So that's the thing. There's no young guns. There's no youngins that are going to be non-RFA. Like Dahlin. Dahlin would be a great fit, though. But do I want to shell out that much cash and those potential picks for somebody like Dahlin? Not really. But if it's the only option I have, will I do it? Probably. Ulevi's an interesting option. 84 overall, 23 years old, 4 years. Give him 4.8. This year's first and third round picks. No. No. If you think that's what's going to happen, you've got me messed up. For sure, for sure. Okay, we're definitely not getting any RFAs then. Which really messes with my plan. Dougie Hamilton. 5 years. That's a little bit expensive for me. Gustafsson, Yarmulson. Another team interested, so we'll give him 4.8 for the year. There's no other teams interested, so I might get away with giving him 4.9 for 5. Ooh, I don't really like that. I don't know if I like the sound of that contract, but we kind of lowballed him, so it's definitely possible he's not going to take that anyway. Oh, shine! Oh, I should have been looking for forwards. Just to see. We don't necessarily need it, but we have a lot of lower tier kind of forwards. If we can make a stellar top line, that would be sick. Like with Taylor friggin' Hall. I need to see only UFAs, though. I can't be... Could you imagine we get Ovi, though? That would be kind of fun. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We don't have a lot of cap. Wow, we've got an interesting team here. Our medium elite player, Svitov, is worth so much. I never even would have guessed that he would be worth that much. Okay, who's making the most money on our team right now? Mark Stone is making the most money on our team right now. I mean, that's the issue with this team, is that I can't really see a contract other than maybe Orlov that is really worrisome to me. McKinnon's contract is great. Drouin's contract is decent. Stone is getting paid a hefty penny. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss, ladies and gents. Let's just keep advancing. We'll maybe potentially see what we can see here. Hamilton doesn't go with us, but Yarmulson does. So that's one of the defensemen that we do need very, very dearly here. Again, UFAs only. Taylor Hall is a UFA. Man. Who are our current wingers if I don't do this? Like, who is our current first line left winger if I don't make this trade? Is it Drouin? Yeah, it's Drouin. How much cap do I have again? 12 mil. Ooh, this is not an easy choice. Let me quickly... Like, we need a good top line. Playing Drouin on the top line is okay, but if we played Hall, Stone, and McKinnon, I think that could be an interesting line. I don't want him for 6 years, though. He wants more money. the more years I go down. Yeah, what about 9.35 for 3 years? I really hope he takes that. That seems like a stellar deal for us. Now that is sick. Don't really want Palat though. Okay, now while we're here and we're thinking about it, could we maybe, just maybe, we have a lot we wanted to do actually. Whoa, hold the friggin' cellular real quick. I was about to say we need someone to replace Qdobin, but I remember after the last season we decided that we were keeping Qdobin and throwing our boy Corey Crawford out the friggin' window. I just need a good backup. Like, I'm talking like, I mean, if I could find a good starter, I would take him, but again, not really something that I necessarily need. I think Qdobin could be an okay starting goaltender for us here. I'm hoping. Not many not a lot of teams super interested. Definitely not wanting Price or Gibson, although I would take Gibson if they would like to give him to me. Ben Bishop, not all that interested. Lindblom, not all that interested. I need someone that's NHL ready, though. Malcolm Subban. And do they have any defensemen they want to get rid of right now? Vatanen for $5 million. I don't know what just happened to my voice there, but I was like, Vatanen. Or I could go with someone that may improve, like Cale Clegg. But they wanted to get rid of... I don't want to pay someone like Vatanen that much money. Okay, well, keep in mind that that is an option. That Malcolm Subban is somebody that is available, but... no. Corey Crawford, no. Just Crawford's getting a little old. He's not having much luck there, and you know, getting any wins anymore. It's about time that he hits the hay, I would say. Demko is also an interesting one. What about Demko and Goalie for Crawford and... well, they're giving up a defenseman. Let's see. Do we have any unsigned prospects with some decent trade value? Sooney, Lockhart, Brylan, and Persinger. We don't need any more centers right now, so Persinger can probably be shuffled into that deal. I just think that this would be a great deal for us. Goalie is someone that can still grow, and Demko would be, you know, a decent backup for us. I just don't want to give up, you know, house and home for it here, per se. I'm pretty much just trying to very, very lightly add some stuff on without, you know, going too overboard here. Okay. I don't want to give them any higher than, like, a fourth is the highest I would like to give them. Okay. Well, maybe we'll give them one of our guys that has one of our unsigned guys that has a bit more trade value. Again, we're not going to need center prospects for quite a while. I think I can probably throw Persinger out of that deal, though, and make that go through. Wow, really? Again, they're not wanting to take it because it's going to make their goalie situation quite rough. I think that might be kind of the reason why. But, I mean, we're trading them goalie for goalie. Maybe a defenseman issue. They may not want to really give up goalie, which, I mean, can't really blame them on that one. But I'm willing to go a little crazy here and, you know, test the limits. Wait, I just want to reread what that said. Don't take this deal, please. That wasn't the friggin'... This is overkill. Yeah. It was overkill, but I wanted the deal to go through, so we did it. So now, we will sim into our next season. They want to give us Holla for Jones, our starting goaltender in the minors. I don't really want to take that trade, unfortunately for them. They want to give us Eberle for Jones. Nope. I'm good. I want to take both of my goaltenders now. Nope. Oh my god, everybody wants Jones, and Arizona does not want Holla. AJ Greer, extremely happy to accept a few guys that obviously we had on our under RFA that are just, you know, kind of stuck in the wind right now. Justin Bailey accepts. I believe there's one more. He's the only one holding out right now. I mean, if he can keep holding out until the end of the season, for all I care. Yeah. Doesn't hold out for long. I mean, what is he going to do, really? All right. Let's, oh God, this has been a long episode, guys. I'm so sorry. I just look over at the time, and I'm like, oh my God, we've been at this for a hot minute. But I guess this was the inaugural episode, and we got quite a bit done. And I guess before we end, we will see what our lines are going to be looking like here going into this coming year. So we're currently looking at a sniper, a playmaker, and a power forward here on our top line. And Taylor Hall, McKinnon, and Stone. Then we have a second line of Drouin, Getzlov, and Yarncroc. Then we have Perlini, Turris, and the friggin' Mango Man. I almost just lost my words. Then we have a potential future player of this team, Svitov, the medium elite player we were able to pick up in the draft. Then we have Jake Evans and Bailey, and they are getting a +3 overall, which is very exciting to see. I'm sad that this line is for some reason getting some bad rap here. But I don't really know how I'm going to fix that, unfortunately. Oh well. Unless you're not going to move Drouin down, but still. Very, very good top 6 there. And then, wow, our defense is actually stellar. Having Giordano Letang with a +3. You're almost in an Orlov with a +1. And Butcher and Gooley. That is a very, very good defensive core. And then, obviously, it's our goalies that are lacking a bit. But what can you do, really? And let's see who our captains are currently. We've currently got Hall as an assistant, McKinnon as a captain, and Mark Stone as an assistant. That's pretty accurate. Yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. Again, guys, super sorry this one was so long, but again, we accomplished so much. We did the fantasy draft, although, you know, we didn't actually take like the super long time to go through it. We got through our first season, got through our first off season, and the next episode we'll be all prepped and ready to start up our second season here with our fantasy draft Tampa Bay Lightning team. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.